Ever feel like you're stuck at the bottom of this? Like, mountain of debt? Ugh, it's the worst feeling. But guess what? We're tackling that today. We're diving into a podcast, and it's all about, like crushing that debt and getting to, what do they call it? Financial freedom.
And it sounds like you found a good one for this deep dive. This podcast had some pretty smart strategies, honestly, stuff I hadn't even thought of.
Right. I was like, why didn't I think of that? It's not just like make a budget. It's about understanding why each step matters.
It's kind of like before you climb a mountain, you need a map, right? You don't just start, scrambling up without knowing what you're getting into.
Exactly. And this podcast episode, it's all about getting that clear picture first. Like, they really stress listing out every single debt, not just how much, but the interest rates too, which, oof, those are the worst.
Yeah, those interest rates can really mess you up. It's like this hidden trap. One thing the podcast host mentioned that really, stuck with me was secured versus unsecured debt. I feel like no one talks about that.
Okay, yes, explain that, because I feel like everyone throws those terms around, but I'm not sure I totally get it.
Right. So secured debt, think like your mortgage or car loan. It's secured by your house or car. If you don't pay, they can take it. Unsecured debt is like, credit cards. There's no specific thing tied to it.
So, like, if I don't pay my credit card bill, they can't come after my, like, shoes. Just kidding. Or am I? But seriously, knowing the difference, it helps you prioritize. Right.
Exactly. They each have like different implications for your overall finances. So it's about being strategic with your, repayment plan. Which brings us to, honestly, the best part, the actual, like, how to tackle it, the debt repayment strategies.
And they gave two awesome ones.
All
So you
right.
ready for these names? The Debt Snowball and the Debt Avalanche.
Love those.
So good. Okay, so picture this. You're at the bottom of your debt mountain, right?
Yep.
And you've got these smaller boulders kind of scattered around. That's the debt snowball. You tackle the smallest debts first.
It doesn't matter the interest. It's about that, like momentum. And let me tell you, there's something really powerful about those early wins.
Right. It's like, I did it. Okay, next one. You get that feeling of accomplishment, and it keeps you going. Like, okay, I can do this.
Exactly. But there's another way to climb this mountain, the debt avalanche. And this is all about efficiency. You're going straight for the debt with the highest interest rate.
So instead of clearing small boulders, you're going for the, like, biggest, scariest one first.
Yeah, like straight for the summit. Mathematically, this one makes the most sense. You're saving money in the long run.
Okay, so which is better? Is like, do you take the scenic route or like the fast lane?
That's the cool thing. It really depends on you. There's no right answer. Do you get motivated by checking things off your list? Even if it takes a little longer, debt snowball's your friend then. But if you're like, nope, gotta be efficient, then go debt avalanche all the way.
It's totally like, what kind of climber are you? Some people want that like straight to the top challenge. Others like to take it a bit slower.
Totally. And this podcast, they made that really clear. It's about figuring out like your own money style, you know?
Love that. Okay, so we've got our map. We know how we climb.
Yeah.
Now we actually got to climb this debt mountain, right?
Right. And this is where the podcast got really good. They had all these tips about like making a plan because it's not enough to just want to be debt free, right?
Yeah, it's like we need the itinerary, not just the destination.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be fancy, even just a notebook. But you got to see where your money's going. They called it finding hidden money.
Ooh, okay, I'm into that. Like we're on a treasure hunt, but with our own finances.
Right. It's amazing what you find when you actually look, like that coffee you get every day. Or, buying things just because adds up fast.
Okay, but cutting back is like the least fun part.
It doesn't have to be. It's about choices. Like, could you make coffee at home a few times a week instead of buying it?
Yeah, that'd be easy. Oh, or those subscription boxes I never actually use.
See, hidden money gold mine right there. Think of it like every dollar you free up is like better gear for climbing that mountain.
That is such a good way to think about it. So it's not giving stuff up, it's getting us closer to freedom.
Yes. And they had this cool tip for those impulse buys. The 30-day rule.
Okay, I need to hear about this. What is this rule?
Simple, but it works. If you want to buy something but you don't need it, you wait 30 days.
So if I see like the perfect pair of shoes, I have to wait a whole month.
Exactly. Chances are you won't even want them that much after 30 days. And if you do, it's a reward for making progress on your debt.
That is brilliant. It's like a cool down period so you don't make any rash decisions with your money. I feel like I'm actually getting better at this just talking about it.
I love it. And remember, like, mountain climbing, it's not always a solo thing. Sometimes you need help.
You mean like it's okay to ask for help?
Totally. The podcast host talked about that. We think asking for help is weak, but it's actually the opposite. It takes guts to admit you need support, you know?
It's like having a guide, right? Someone who's been there before and can show you which way to go.
Yeah. And there are so many resources, like, what are those people called? Financial advisors, credit counselors. They can help you figure it all out.
So don't be afraid to get help. It's like totally okay. We all need a hand sometimes.
Exactly. You know, this podcast, it made me realize we can get so caught up in the stress of debt. It feels huge. But they talked about celebrating your wins, and I thought that was really smart.
Ooh, yeah, I love that. Like any victory is worth celebrating no matter how small.
Right. Every payment, every dollar you save, it's a step closer to being free.
It's like you're climbing this huge mountain and you finally reach like base camp. You're not there yet, but you made it this far, right? Celebrate that.
Exactly. It helps so much with motivation. It's easy to get discouraged, so focusing on how far you've come, that helps.
That is so important because, let's be real, paying off debt, not exactly the most fun thing ever.
Mhm.
But if you think about it like what you're getting, freedom, less stress. It's like an adventure.
Yes. It's about changing how you see it. This podcast had so many good tips, honestly. I even learned a few things for myself.
Me too.
Yeah.
It was like they were talking just to us, like way less awkward than talking to my actual financial advisor.
Uh-huh. So true. But really, the biggest takeaway is you're not alone in this. Like, seriously, there's help out there.
So for anyone listening who's feeling motivated to tackle their debt, what's one thing they can do, like, right now to get started?
Okay, so grab your phone or notebook, whatever's easiest. Write down every single debt you have, the amount, the interest rate, all of it. It's like your starting point.
Love that. Super easy. And once you have that, you can start planning. Like, which debt do you want to tackle first? What method are you going to use? And don't forget to celebrate those wins along the way.
Exactly. Even the biggest mountains, you climb them one step at a time.
That's so true. And you know what? We're here to cheer you on every step of the way. This has been The Deep Dive, and we'll catch you next time as we explore another topic and really get into it.